Which three-row SUV should you buy? The Toyota Grand Highlander, the Mazda CX-90, or the Honda Pilot? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. For 2023, Honda, Mazda, and Toyota have all introduced brand new or redesigned three-row mid-sized SUVs. And even though all three of these brands are known for their excellent reliability and offering strong value for the money, there are some important differences that you need to know before making a decision. But before we get into it, remember, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. So we'll start things off with the different drivetrain options that you have to choose from and the pros and cons of each. The Grand Highlander offers the most choice with two different hybrids and one non-hybrid engine to choose from. The base engine is a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, making 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It comes matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission, a choice of either front-wheel or all-wheel drive, or standard all-wheel drive in Canada. Now, out of all the different engines you have to choose from, this one is easily the least desirable of the bunch. The issue is that it's just not that remarkable when it comes to power or fuel economy. And being a 4-cylinder turbo, it also feels a little bit more labored than the other two, which makes sense given that this is a pretty big and heavy SUV. The 6-cylinder engines that you get in the Mazda and Honda are certainly more refined, and they feel a lot more appropriate for an SUV of this type. Fortunately, the two hybrids that you have to choose from in the Grand Highlander are a lot better. The first hybrid uses a non-turbo 4-cylinder engine with a 2-motor hybrid system, the same one that Toyota uses across most of their lineup. The benefit of this one is amazing fuel economy. It's able to achieve around 35 miles per gallon or 7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is far better than any other SUV in this group. And even though it doesn't produce a lot of power, it is very smooth and refined and does feel well suited to this SUV. Now, for those who are looking for more power, you also have the option of a Hybrid Max on the higher trims. This hybrid system produces 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, which makes it by far the most powerful version that you can get out of any of these SUVs. And at the same time, it still delivers decent fuel economy, around 27 miles per gallon or just under 9 liters per 100 kilometers. So even though the regular engine is not that impressive, if you are specifically looking for a hybrid, the Grand Highlander certainly has some great options that you can consider. Now, much like the Grand Highlander, the CX-90 also offers 3 different choices. The base engine is a turbocharged inline-6, which is available in 2 different tunes, producing either 280 horsepower or 340 horsepower. It comes matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission and standard all-wheel drive. Now, if you want to have a lot of power and performance, but also want a very smooth and refined ride, then this is the one to go for. Inline 6-cylinder engines are often known for having that amazing balance between power and refinement, and this one is no different. And if you're looking for more efficiency, you can also get the CX-90 as a plug-in hybrid. It uses a non-turbo 4-cylinder engine combined with a hybrid system and a large battery pack, which gives you an electric driving range of around 26 miles or 42 kilometers. Now, although it is nice to see a plug-in hybrid option in a mid-sized SUV, unfortunately, you do have to be very disciplined with keeping it charged on a regular basis if the idea is to save a lot of money on gas. Unfortunately, it's not that fuel efficient when the electric range is used up and it's driven in hybrid mode. The fuel economy of the plug-in hybrid when driven in hybrid mode with the gas engine on is only around 25 miles per gallon or 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is barely any better than the inline 6. But with that said, if you prefer to have an electrified SUV and you're going to charge it on a regular basis, then this is the one to go for. And that brings us to the Honda Pilot, which by far has the most simple engine lineup, and that's because you only have one choice. The Pilot comes standard with a non-turbo 3.5-liter V6 engine with a 10-speed automatic transmission, a choice of either front-wheel or all-wheel drive, or standard all-wheel drive in Canada. Now, even though you can get the Pilot as a hybrid, this V6 engine is quite impressive. It makes decent efficiency for what it is. It has more than enough power and it also has a very smooth and refined feel. And on top of that, it's a simple non-turbo V6, which should be better for long-term reliability and repairs. Honda is well known for making extremely reliable and long-lasting engines, and this one certainly feels like it would make a great workhorse. Now, when it comes to the way these 3 SUVs drive, it's the Toyota and the Honda that stand out as being the quietest and the most comfortable. Now that's not to say the Mazda is not comfortable, but it does have a slightly firmer ride than the other two, and that makes sense given that Mazda is known for its sportiness and prioritizing handling. So if your priority is handling over comfort and you want an SUV that you can drive a little bit more aggressively, then the CX-90 is the one to have. And if you're looking to do any kind of towing with your SUV, all three of these are great choices. All of them are rated to tow between 3,500 and 5,000 pounds, depending on which one you go for. Although if I had to pick one of them that would be best suited for towing, it would have to be one of the 6-cylinder engines in either the Pilot or the CX-90. Now when it comes to the interiors of these SUVs, all of them are very nice and spacious in their own way. The Mazda by far has the most upscale feeling interior of the bunch. It has the nicest materials, the nicest design, and it offers a few different color choices, making it feel very luxurious. The Toyota and the Honda both have very nice interiors too, especially if you go for one of the higher trims. But they do feel a little bit more utilitarian than the Mazda, which is okay for some buyers. And they are a little bit more user-friendly when it comes to the control setup. Both the Honda and Toyota have a straightforward touchscreen infotainment system that doesn't take a long time to get used to. Whereas with the Mazda, you primarily need to use a rotary dial on the center console, which has a little bit more of a learning curve to it. When it comes to actual space and roominess though, it's the Grand Highlander that is the winner. It just has the most space by volume in all 3 rows of seats and the cargo area. And the amount of stuff that you can fit in here, especially with all the seats folded, is very impressive. The CX-90 is on the other end, being the least spacious one of these 3. It has the least amount of passenger space, especially in the 3rd row seat, and also the smallest cargo area. But with that said, I think it's the Pilot that actually has the most impressive passenger space and practicality of the 3. Compared to the Grand Highlander, the Pilot has nearly as much cargo space and passenger space in all 3 rows of seats. Unlike the Grand Highlander or the CX-90, which make you choose whether you want to have an 8-seater or a 7-seater, you can only get the higher trims on those 2 SUVs. As a 7-seater with captain's chairs, the Pilot doesn't make you choose. On the higher trims, the Pilot comes as an 8-seater with a removable middle seat in the 2nd row bench, which you can store underneath the cargo area, which gives you the best flexibility of the bunch. Which means you not only have plenty of interior space, but you can also hold up to 8 passengers and not sacrifice going for one of the higher trims, which is a major bonus. When it comes to safety, however, all 3 of these SUVs are extremely impressive. They all come with a long list of active safety features, have really good safety ratings, and any one of them would be a great choice in that area. And not only are they all very close when it comes to safety, but they're also very comparable when it comes to reliability and repair costs. All 3 of these brands have an excellent reputation for long-term reliability, even well beyond the warranty period. That's especially true in the case of the Highlander and the Pilot, which do have the longest track record. And for that reason, all 3 of these SUVs should also maintain very high resale value, which is another bonus. Of course, there are a lot of other 3-row crossover SUVs that you could consider, but the issue that a lot of them have is that they don't have the same proven reliability that you get with these 3. A great example of this is the Hyundai Palisade and Kia Telluride, both of which are extremely impressive SUVs. But because they don't have that proven longevity, they're just not quite as well-rounded as the 3 SUVs in this group. So when it comes to the Grand Highlander, the CX-90, and the Pilot, which of these 3 should you go for? Well, when it comes to pricing, all 3 are surprisingly close, so one doesn't really stand out as being an especially great value when compared to the other 2. I think it really does come down to what your priorities are more than anything else. For example, if your priority is to have the most amount of interior space and you just want a comfortable driving SUV, then the Grand Highlander is a great choice. That's especially true if your other priority is efficiency, because in the case of the Grand Highlander, it offers the best hybrid options in the group. Now perhaps you're a different type of buyer and your priority is to have good performance, good handling, or maybe you just want a more luxurious, stylish SUV. Well, in that case, the CX-90 is the one to go for. It really feels like the most luxurious SUV here, and with that powerful turbo inline 6-cylinder engine, it also has the best performance. And again, if a plug-in hybrid SUV is something that you're looking for, well then it really is the only choice. So where does that leave the Honda Pilot? Well, surprisingly, I actually think that this is the best SUV in the group if you're looking for a non-hybrid and if you want the most practical and spacious package. I think the V6 engine is perfectly suited for this SUV. It's going to give you strong reliability and performance, And with that amazing flexible seating, where you can have it as both a 7 or an 8 passenger depending on what you want, well, that really makes it a really nice package. So if I were choosing between these SUVs and I wanted a non-hybrid, I think the Pilot is the one that I would go for. But on the other hand, if I was dead set on having a hybrid, well, in that case, the Grand Highlander with the regular hybrid system is the most well-rounded choice. So there you have it. So between these three SUVs, which one of them would you go for? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.